Spa. The Racing Point team, formerly Force India, have scored with both of their cars in the last 3 Belgian Grand Prix.
So the Leclerc going off wide has been noted. They won't penalise him in any way, as we see a replay of Perez taking that position.
He went for it.
And that's what Dr. Helmut Marko wants. That's what he was unhappy about with Pierre Gasly. He wasn't making his way. And Hamilton's almost on the tail of Vettel as well, within DRS range again. That's why Bottas has been given the hurry.
Hamilton's got the speed that he wants. Through Blanchimont, he might have a better chance. You never know of overtaking Sebastian Vettel. Daniel Ricciardo has got past Kevin Magnussen, as you can see there, but it's all eyes.
Lewis will have fresher tyres at the end of the Grand Prix, but Vettel is absolutely flying.
And there's the live 21 of 44 here in the Belgian Grand Prix, but Charles Leclerc leads by just over 4 seconds from Lewis Hamilton. Valtteri Bottas about the same gap back. He's just set a personal best lap. Valtteri Bottas still a tenth slower than his teammate. Top 3 haven't pitted. There's Magnussen, who
pit straight, isn't he?
It was a bit ambitious on that lap, but at the end of the lap it does now take place. That's Ferrari making a very bold strategic.
Hamilton.
Mercedes-Benz have more 1-2 finishes this season than Ferrari have in the last decade, 7-4, but it's 1-2 for Ferrari here, and looking good for them as it stands at the moment. And as you rightly pointed out there, Martin, bit of DRS for Sebastian Vettel gives him some free extra pace at the end of the straight to keep ahead of the Mercedes, because that's what Sebastian Vettel's battle now is going to be. Can he stay ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who is only 3.2 seconds behind him? Meanwhile, Sergio Perez, you can hear the cheers from some of the British fans waving the Hamilton flags. He pulls out alongside Sebastian Vettel. He pulls ahead of Sebastian Vettel, and there was the cheer from the fans that have made it over from last of all behind him. And Albon's going to go the long way round Rivage, going wheel to wheel with Daniel Ricciardo. Often you see a move happening there. No Name Corner is next. That's bold if he's going to go past Ricciardo there. Ricciardo might look back on that one day and appreciate it, but he probably doesn't now.
Over yet. Leclerc's got a lot of work to do here.
I tell you what, without Sebastian Vettel's defence for 2 or 3 laps, Lewis Hamilton will be now right on the rear wing of Charles Leclerc.
And Bono's point to his driver, Lewis Hamilton, was, look, when Vettel's pace dropped off, it really dropped off.
Absolutely. Hulkenberg getting past Grosjean and then Lance Stroll. So just looking here, 1.3 seconds Lewis Hamilton took out of Charles Leclerc's lead in the middle sector alone. The gap is now down to 2.7 seconds as we see Hulkenberg getting past his teammate Daniel Ricciardo. And whatever Hulkenberg does, then Lance Stroll likes to try and follow as well, and he does so in the Racing Point. But there is a scrap now taking place for the lead, that whilst they're not on the top of the podium for the first time ever, would be a pretty good high. That is nailing on the asphalt, but Charles Leclerc can now see the checkered flag, and for the first time ever, Charles Leclerc wins a Formula 1 Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton for the Mercedes team.
That's a huge relief for Ferrari, isn't it, to finally get a victory underway and sealed up and done and dusted.
It is not a weekend